It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag, it's the emblem for which we fight. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the white. Every eye gleams bright for the red and the white as we sing this song to you. What do we sing? Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the red and the white. It's a grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag, it's the emblem for which we fight. It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the white. Every eye gleams bright for the red and the white as we sing this song to you. What do we sing? Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the red and the white.
Good evening and welcome to AFLNT's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season. From TIO, we've got the final series kicking off tonight, and we start with the under-18s elimination final for the girls' competition. It's Nightcliff versus Waratah. I'm Willsbar, with me is Stu Davis. And Stu, you've called under-18s footy all year. What do you think we can expect from this one?
Yeah, look, really, the under-18 girls competition has really fought hard to keep 4 teams in the competition all year, and in regard to that, you'll see that some of the Waratah players tonight have got shorts of a different colour, so a different club. So it's fantastic that the clubs have helped out and lent players so that the competition could keep going with 4 teams. So it is an elimination final. The first semi-final, it's a final 4 with the 4 teams, of course. So expect Nightcliff to go in hot favourites tonight, but Waratah will be having a crack, and they've got some good players from other clubs. So we'll see how it pans out. But we're underway, and the ball's just squirted out to the grandstand wing here as the players, it looked like almost a high tackle there on Sian Murphy. Play on was the call as the ball spills into the middle of the ground, and Tanika Bush was first there, just couldn't control it on the first attempt, paddled it forward, gets it out here where Chloe Lay picks it up for Tars. She's tackled and the ball spills out, and now just out in front of a couple of players there as Lakia Rabbit kicks forward for Nightcliff, but not much ground covered, and no real territorial advantage at the moment. Jessica picks up nicely and hand passes out, and gives Tigers the chance to go inside their forward 50 for the first time. Picking the ball up down there was Mia Gross. She got tackled with the ball and spilled out, and now a chance for Kobe Lee to clear for Waratah into the middle of the ground, but chopped off by Lakia Rabbit once again. She kicks the ball inside forward 50, and good defensive work, and Maria Tesero clears into the centre of the ground, but only as far once again as Rabbit, who kicks inside forward 50. Oh, the mark's spilt down there, and spills out the back, and first there for Tars is Phoebe Wiltshire, who just suckles it a couple of times, now picks up and clears out wide, and it's outside defensive 50, but Nightcliff got players behind the ball as Rabbit comes in again, kicks inside forward 50. The Tars defender choosing to bat that one away rather than attempt to mark, and they work it out to half back where the ball's squirting out the back now, and another opportunity, and Tesero gets another clearance for Tars straight down the middle of the ground, but Nightcliff pump it back in again. It's going out close to the boundary line and eventually rolls out. So plenty of action, no score in the first couple of minutes of the game, Will. Yeah,
first stop in play, and to their credit, the Tars girls have come out with a bit of intensity. We are playing 12 aside here instead of the usual 16 aside, just to account for numbers. I think I tallied up 13, so they'll only have one on the bench, but given that, they've started really well.
Yeah, they have, and it's the defence is holding up so far, as that one is just paddled over the boundary line by Agnes Magindi, and be another boundary throw in just inside the forward 50 for Nightcliff, who are kicking to the airport end at the right of screen in this first quarter. So from that ruck contest, one there by Hannah Wilson, and Tars cleared away, but a nice intercept mark taken out here, and the chance for Nightcliff to go inboard again. It's knocked to the ground in front of the pack, and now trying to get it out into some space, but again good defensive work, and Kobe Lee picks it up. She gets caught with the ball, and now Chloe Lay for Tars gets the kick outside of defensive 50 into a bit of space here. It's a bit of a foot race, and eventually picked up by Julia Pollen, who kicks the ball out towards the boundary line, and now a quick kick in by Emma Clifton, but chopped off in defence, and Sydney Finch clears away for Waratah once again, spoilt from behind by Ashley Hughes down in front, and Lakia Rabbit's in there, gets a quick hand pass forward. Chloe Lay hand passes forward as well, but through the hands the ball comes back, and worked it down to the forward 50 again, but Sydney Finch thumps it out of there and gets it back towards the centre of the ground, where the ball's out in space, and it's a one-on-one contest, but some nice work there. The ball comes in, but chopped off in defence once again by Sian Murphy for Tars. She kicks along the wing, but intercepted down here on the bounce by Ashley Hughes, but her kicks chopped off and marked by Magindi in defence once again. Plays on with the bounce, and now kicks long on the left foot. Mark almost taken by Kobe Lee down there. Got the hand pass across to her teammate Lily Bolitho, but Nightcliff again bring it back. Good intercept work by Magindi, hand passed off, but it put her teammate under a bit of pressure, and Nightcliff again going inside forward 50 as the ball's out in front of Bridget Jackson. She gets the hand pass out where Kumala gets involved, gets the hand pass back, but her teammate there, Jackson, was under plenty of pressure from Phoebe Wiltshire, and forces the ball over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Doing really well, the Tars. Really impressed with their effort on the ball, and Look, I know it's not likely, particularly when you've got, I think we've got 5 players pulling on opposition shorts to help make up the numbers, but anything can happen in finals, Stu.
Yeah, that's right. They've certainly shown the endeavour so far. And good work from the ruck contest. A snap at goal is through for the first goal of the game. And just trying to pick that up, who that is. I think it might have been Tanika Bush doing the ruck work down there, and just got it to foot to ball from the front of the pack and put it through for the first goal of the game. So, yeah, Tanika normally plays in the ruck and making her way back to the centre square now. So it took a while, but the first goal of the game is on the board, Will.
Yeah, it took probably a bit longer than the Nightcliff probably thought. They've got a full team by the looks of things, and they've even offered, I think it's two players, sort of 2.5 players to Waratah as well. But yeah, probably settled some nerves for them as well, because finals time, you never really know. If you're not there to perform and you don't kick a goal early, it can come back to haunt you. But they're away out of the middle again. Kick came out of there from Rabbit, has found Jess Pick, and she looks to centre it again. Goes a bit too far, running on to be Kanala. She now picks it up, gets a handball, paddled through. Now worked inside 50 again. Just keep in front of them, but good work there from Finch, captain for Tars. Now out to Kobe Lee. Umpire blows a whistle. Looks like play's still going though. And good work again there from Bush, paddling it to advantage. Had 2 to beat. Tars got it out there through Koulakis and just working down that far side. No wings in tonight's game, so there'll be a lot of running when the ball does make it out to the wings. Now picked up by Nightcliff and worked forward. Just goes beyond the contest. First to it could be Wilson. In fact, she is. Gets around her opposition and works it back down. Had 2 options to go to. Couldn't pinpoint them out. This will now come back. I think that's Finch again. Kicks into the middle of the ground and a bit of a foot race ensues. Nightcliff on the bottom of the pack. Trying to get it out there is Rabbit. Can't quite get it through the forest of legs there. Spills out the back now. Picking it up there is Bush. She gets through, breaks away from outside 50, goes into the pocket. That's a beautiful kick. Couldn't be marked, unfortunately, by her teammate. Paddles it to her own advantage, picks it up, kicks towards goal. And there's a defender there at fullback who started the game very well. I think that might be Phoebe Wiltshire there.
Yeah, it is Wiltshire. Nice intercept mark, and now it decides to switch the play to the grandstand side of the ground out into some space. Waratah have the numbers, but the Tiger players come in and help as Rabbit gets a long kick into the goal square, goes over the top of the players there and bounces left instead of right, so over the boundary line for another boundary throw in. So 8.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter, and just the 1 goal on the board so far to Nightcliff. It's certainly Tars have been doing all of the defending, all the players been in their defensive half of the ground, but really battling well as from that ruck contest again. The ball spills out the back, a snapshot towards goal. This one's going to bounce through, but it's touched. And it was Misha Kamala at the back of the pack there, took the opportunity, but it was touched through. So play slows down while the ball's retrieved, and Tars will bring it back in. Sydney Finch to bring the ball back for Tars. She runs away out of the goal square to the near side now, has a bounce, and now looking to kick long. It's a beautiful kick outside of defensive 50, but well read in defence and chopped off. A nice mark there by Pollen. She thumps the ball back inside forward 50. It's a high one, cutting across in front of the pack was Rabbit, and does well at ground level, gets a hand pass across. A shot towards goal once again from Kamala, but unfortunately just slewed off the side of the boot a bit and through for another behind.
Would have been a great goal if she could pull it off there, but perhaps in that situation in a final, just need to kick a drop punt, Stu.
Yeah, just probably had a bit more time to steady and get that one through, but yeah, just threw it on the boot in the end. But it's Tars going the outer side now. Sydney Finch again running away and bouncing the ball in space and kicks outside of defensive 50, but this time it's chopped off by McQueen for Nightcliff. She swings around on the right foot, kicks inside forward 50. It's a well-directed pass and nicely taken in the hands by Kamala. She's switched the ball across the grandstand side, but perhaps not the best option, as there were plenty of TARS players there, and it was thumped out of defence by Hannah Wilson at ground level. Oh, terrific work by Julia Pollen once again, and she broke the tackle, kicks inside forward 50, and again it's a well-directed pass, and again it's nicely accepted by Misha Kamala directly in front of goal this time. Kicks on the way, might have been touched just on the line, I think, and it was. So good defensive work down there, and pretty sure that was Hannah Wilson getting back there to get her hands on the ball and just prevent the goal being scored, touch it through for another behind. So Nightcliff starting to hit the scoreboard now, but 4 behinds in a row since they got that opening goal, and Sydney Finch, she's loving running out of the goal square and taking some bounces and clearing it long out of defence, and that was a terrific mark by Kobe Lee. Just nudged her opponent under the ball and read it as it came in. Now she plays on, kicks back towards the centre square, but at ground level Rabbit gets the kick inside. That's chopped off again in defence, and once again it's Wiltshire for TARS, who goes out of side. That one's going to go out of bounds on the full, I think. That's the way it's been called, so it'll be a Nightcliff free kick on the outer side there. No one in a real hurry to come over and pick up the ball, but eventually it's Tyler Gaffer who will take the free kick, as umpire just directs Kobe Lee back to where the mark should be. Gaffer just runs around now, kicks inside forward 50. The ball spills over the back, an opportunity for Nightcliff once again, but TARS have got a goalkeeper in place in defence, and that's Hannah Wilson, who kicks straight up the middle of the ground, but there's plenty of Nightcliff players there as Burgoyne chops it off and thumps it back inside forward 50. Good work through the hands by TARS as they bring the ball grandstand side, and it's bouncing away into open space. There's first there for Waratah was Pick once again, who kicked it back into the danger zone where TARS are struggling in defence, and Wiltshire thumps it away, and it's a good pass and finds her teammate Sian Murphy at half back. Murphy kicks long and gets it over the players that were assembled there, but running onto it for Nightcliff was through Oliver. There's a
great tackle,
strong tackle, and the ball spilled out, and so it's a Waratah free kick down here to Bolotho.
They've got the numbers, but they just haven't quite worked it out. It's a good kick though. I think they've still got an extra up forward. A few Tigers running back now. Kicking a high one over the top. There's Milkins, but it's intercepted there, and perhaps Nightcliff get away with one there. Not over yet though. Tigers through the middle now, and they've got numbers on the outer side. They'll get it to them. Murphy's at the back though, again playing a bit of that backstop roll, just kicks it high, looking to get a bit further forward. Tigers though, they work it out. Is that a mark? It's a free kick going TARS way by the looks of things. No, he's paid the mark. Umpire just putting his arm the wrong way. He calls play on now. Looks to come out this near side, and it's a 2-on-1. Jess Pick at the back takes a good mark. She's got Burgoyne who's just run forward, and again a bit by herself. Now the defender picks her up. The ball spills out the back, and Wiltshire again kicks it long distance. Pick will have another crack, albeit on the run this time. Tackled, so got a handball away, and there's the siren before Clifton can do anything with it. So after 14 minutes of play, it's 1-4-10 Nightcliff leading Waratah, yet to score in this elimination final here at TIO Stadium.
Yeah, it's been a really competitive opening quarter. Obviously, Nightcliff have dominated the field position, but the endeavour of the Waratah players has been fantastic so far, and they've just held them out a number of times. So looks promising going into the second quarter, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely got more of a game on our hands than we potentially thought. Hopefully, TARS can hit the scoreboard as well and make a bit more of a game of it. But we'll be back after this quarter time break. Welcome back to TIO Stadium. It's our first weekend of finals and the girls under 18s elimination final here at TIO Stadium between Nightcliff and Waratah is a quarter of the way through. Nightcliff leading 1 goal 3-9 to Waratah yet to score. I'm Wills War, with me is Stu Davis, and Stu, second quarter is about to start, so we'll get straight into it.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty competitive opening quarter. Let's hope it continues that way as the ball goes up. Hit out's one down there by Bush, and she collects herself from her own ruck work and a nice pass forward. And Nightcliff, the chance at half forward as the mark's taken down there by Emma Clifton. Just looking for the best option here. She's got a player loose in the pocket if the ball bounces right for her, but it's just gone over her head. Stays in play though. Coming back in and picking it up was Sierra McQueen, but as she got tackled, the ball spilled out and not disposed of properly. So Waratah free kick in defence, and Hannah Wilson down there in the back left pocket will take the free kick. She kicks along the line, but plenty of Nightcliff players behind the ball there as ball's caught in underneath. Eventually a quick kick comes out and picked up here by Matilda Wilson, who kicks inside forward 50. Some strong defensive work, and Hannah Wilson clears again for Tars into the centre of the ground. Ball bouncing end on end and eventually chopped off in defence by Gunther Oliver, who kicks down to half forward. Picked up by Jackson, hand passed across. There's a long kick towards goal, but sitting underneath it, waiting for it to come down, was Ava Milkins, and she took a nice mark. Plays on now, just runs away towards the outer side of the ground, and again a good pass, and it's marked here by Kalakis. So some good passages of play as the kick comes out wide, and again it's thumped in by Milkins, who kicks out towards the outer side of the ground. It's rolling towards the boundary line and picked up out there by Nellie Thomas, who just kicks it around that boundary line but keeps it in play. Coming in was Bush for Nightcliff, and Kalakis at the bottom of the pack. She gets swung off it in the end, and Tesero just got the hand pass out, but not to any advantage, and Nightcliff the opportunity now as Gross kicks long towards the goal square. Over the back again, reading the ball coming in nicely was Milkins once again for Tars, and she kicks it back in the direction that came from. The ball hits the ground out near the boundary line once again, and Tars swarming on it as Chloe Lay gets the clearing kick, and it's a good pass, finds Bonnie Peacock on the outer side of the ground. She's looking to go short and hit the target, but the mark unfortunately couldn't be taken by Madison Cale. She's still in there as the hand pass comes out to her now. She gets a quick kick forward, but first back there for Nightcliff is Gaffer. She just couldn't control the ball, and now the kick comes forward, and reaching in was Peacock, but couldn't control it. And now for Nightcliff, Matilda Wilson gets a kick forward. It's bouncing out towards the boundary line, but kept in out there by Agnes Magindi, and she kicks it back into that pack of players. Ashley Hughes did nicely to get the ball to boot, and now Nightcliff looking to get some run into the game and clear it out wide. That's a long looping hand pass, but misses the target and slips out of the hands down there of Phoebe Wiltshire, but umpire Cheryl Smode says that she was held too long in the tackle, and so she gets the free kick, kicks it out here to Zero, who goes wide to the boundary line. Running onto it out there is Murphy, takes possession, swings back inside, gets a kick to the ball as she's tackled, and now just trying to use it through the hands as Chloe Lay gets tackled and the ball spills out. She's burrowing in there again, gets a hand pass forward, but no one on the end of that as Clifton gets a kick forward for Nightcliff, and the ball gets down towards half forward for them. They're trying to use it through the hands, but in close there's plenty of opposition around, so no one can really break clear as now Nellie Thomas.
Good tackle.
Yeah, does try to break clear, and she's back on it again. She's recovered well and now gets a high kick inside forward 50. Oh, the mark spilt down there, and Waratah scrambling in defence once again as Kalakis gets the hand pass up here to Wiltshire. Wiltshire kicks out wide, but that one's going to go straight over the boundary line. So it'll be a Nightcliff free kick, and Emma Clifton will take that free kick.
Again, solid defence to start this quarter from Tars. They've been peppered, and you almost look at Wiltshire as one of the better players on the ground for me, just the amount of time she sort of intercepted a mark there.
That's a terrific mark by Matilda Wilson at half forward, just in the hands, reaching in, and kicks long straight down the middle of the ground, and again a good mark taken overhead. And Bridget Jackson this time for Nightcliff takes the mark directly in front. She'd be 30 metres out from goal, so test her. It's a bit of a tumbling kick towards the top of the goal square, but at ground level it's picked up and threading through the traffic there. Wasn't she excited? Hannah Burgoyne, I think it was, on the left foot, who just got it through in between players and got it through for a goal. So a good result for Nightcliff. Just see on the replay here a couple of good marks, and Nightcliff worked the ball into their forward line.
Yeah, a pair of good marks there from, I think it was first from Wilson and then to Jackson. And Jackson's kick, not a great one, but Hannah Burgoyne just lurked in the right spot and had the footy IQ about her to get it on the boot straight away through the players and through for a goal. Great to be able to do that at such a young age, Stu. Yeah,
that's right. And yeah, just smart. Found the path through. So eventually the weight of numbers of forward possessions has gone Nightcliff's favour, and they hit the scoreboard once again. And now they win the clearance as Nellie Thomas kicks inside forward 50. But once again, Hannah Wilson, who's doing a power of work in defence for Tars, takes that intercept mark and kicks to the outer side of the ground. It's in space over the back of the pack there, and running in for Tars was Kobe Lee. Just fumbled on the first pick-up attempt, but managed to take possession and get the hand pass forward as they're scrambling at ground level. Wiltshire again involved on the outer side of the ground, but Nightcliff had just come in numbers and eventually picked up by Pollen, and she kicks down where Rabbit takes a nice mark, shrugs off her opponent and runs away with a bounce, and now kicks long towards half forward. Running across and taking a good mark in the hands on the run was Bridget Jackson once again. But she's further out this time at the 50 metre mark and kicks forward looking for Burgoyne again. She picks up after the ball was knocked forward in the marking contest, but a good strong tackle once again, and it's Hannah Wilson who's rewarded for that tackle. She's trying to get some length in that kick over the top, but the Nightcliff players got in at the fall of the ball first, as just trying to force it forward was Tanika Bush, but couldn't control her, and eventually Tars bringing it away again, back into the centre of the ground. Nicely picked up down there by Waratah, but she was under pressure as she tried to get the hand pass out. Pollen swings a long kick down towards half forward on the bounce. The ball spills out of the contest, and Jackson gets another kick inside forward 50. Hannah Wilson back there tries to hack it off the ground, then follows up herself, has another toe poke off the ground, and gets it back towards almost to centre half back there, and cleverly tapped out into space by Wilson once again, and Tezero kicks wide to the boundary line, but again this one's going to roll over the boundary line and should be a Nightcliff free kick on the outer side of the ground. So the last touch rule obviously in women's and under 18 girls football outside of the 50 metre arcs. So the kick comes inboard, it's well directed and nicely marked out there by Bush. Bush plays on, but chipping in again in defence was Maria Tezero for Waratah. There's no one on the mark, so she just takes off up the ground, runs outside of the defensive 50, but her kick unfortunately is going wide again and over the boundary line. So it'll be Nightcliff through Ashley Hughes to bring the ball back in once again. It's on the outer wing.
Tezero obviously wearing the Nightcliff shorts. Good to see her playing very well as well, despite wearing an opposite colours jumper. So
Bush kicks long inside forward 50, but again it's Hannah Wilson who chops it off in defence for Waratah, and just kicking it back to where it came from basically, as Nightcliff had the numbers out there. Pollen shrugged one tackle, then got another kick before she was caught. But again, Jazero takes the intercept mark, tried to play it on quickly and just ran herself into a bit of trouble, but now gets out of that trouble with a toe poke forward, picked up by Madison Cale. She kicks around the corner and it's marked here. Yes, the mark's been paid to Murphy. She plays on eventually and kicks long down towards half forward. Thumping the ball away in defence is McQueen for Nightcliff as the ball spills towards the outer side. Here's an opportunity for Tars if they can get the ball in the hands cleanly. It's picked up by Murphy. She hand passes out wide looking for Majindi there. Majindi trying to run the ball inside forward 50, went for the bounce, lost control of the ball and then got tackled, calling for the free kick but not paid, and Nightcliff bring it away once again, but this time it props and bounces over the boundary line and just about at the junction with the 50-metre line, but judged to be outside of it. So Sian Murphy will take the free kick for Tars, and really their first opportunity to get near the goal and have an opportunity to score. The ball spills over the back of the pack. Kalakis in there picks it up but gets tackled and the ball spills out. Nellie Thomas working hard in defence for Nightcliff. Majindi throws the ball onto her boot. The kick goes across the face of goal and it's going to be Nightcliff first there, and it's cleared away grandstand side. It's bouncing out close to the boundary line. Looks like it's going to stay in play here as coming in for
good work from Kobe Lee there. It was very much outnumbered and just kept going and going and going and put some pressure on and has worked the ball back inside their 50. They've got numbers now. Lee very unlucky to give away the free kick there after the hard work.
Yeah, a bit of confusion about whose free kick it was, but it was there for sure as Kamala kicks down to the wing and it's nicely marked here by Jessica Pick. She's looking to switch the ball back into the centre of the ground where her teammate in Lakaya Rabbit has plenty of space. She picks up now and runs forward, bounces, kicks long inside forward 50. Jackson standing underneath that one again, couldn't take the mark but recovered well. Just got tackled as she went to kick the ball. It's rolling into the defensive goal square for Tars and working hard back there for Waratah was Phoebe Wiltshire once again. Just got a boot to the ball and
well disguised there, Stu.
Yeah. I think she probably was under pressure, and the last touch was certainly within a metre there as the Nightcliff player was closing. So that's a fair decision as Hannah Wilson brings the ball back into play, has a bounce and then runs away. That's not her best kick. She's getting pretty tired back there, I think. Done a power of work as that's almost a one-handed hand pass. I think that's the way that umpire Cheryl Schmode has seen that one, and so it'll be a Nightcliff free kick out near their 50-metre mark.
So Waratah, after all that, couldn't add to their score, and now Nightcliff looking in box position. And yeah, I think there'd be some very tired girls out there. Keep in mind we're playing full-size field, 14-minute quarters and only 12 a side. And obviously they're just young girls as well. Good kick into the pocket there. Mark couldn't be taken, but I think that's Bush there. Just paddling it to her own advantage now, picked up by Jackson. Now handballed inside to Clifton. Good work there from Murphy, who's gone down almost to the last line of fence and just a big clearing kick. Picked up now and worked forward through Gunther Oliver. She kicks inside 50 now, goes out the back. Picked up again, handballed inboard. Lee finds herself with it, breaks a tackle, just throws it on the boot. It's a clearing kick out, but I think it's Burgoyne at the top of the 50. She now picks it up and they're working forward again. Rabbit, she now kicks it to the top of the goal square. Mark couldn't be taken by Pick, but she's in space now. Tries to get it to her advantage. Does now, ducks through the tackle. Handballs inboard now to Clifton. Clifton kicks towards goal, across the face. And again, Waratah just holding firm. Oh, not a bit of an untimely error there. Kick forward from Nightcliff, goes towards the boundary and rolls over. So we'll have a throw in. So very close to half time here. And in fact, there we go, right there, right on time. So at the half, it's Nightcliff 2-4-16 leading the Tars, yet to score. But a very spirited defence in particular, and hopefully they can add some joy on the scoreboard tonight. Yeah, that's right. They've worked overtime in defence, haven't they? And some of those defenders really look to be tiring towards the end of the quarter. But, gee, they must be proud of the work that they've done so far to keep themselves in the game. Yeah, absolutely. We know that it's, as we said at the start of the game, it's an interesting competition with just the 4 sides in it, but they do find themselves in the finals. And, yeah, I guess 15 points or 16 points isn't the biggest of margins to overcome, but is looking unlikely. All they need is belief, though. It is finals, and anything can happen. We'll bring you back the second half after this halftime break. Welcome back to TIO Stadium, and you're watching AFL&T's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season. It's the final series, and we're halfway through the first under-18s girls final. It's the elimination final between Nightcliff and Waratah. Stu Davis taking us underway.
So Bush doing the ruck work for Nightcliff, gets the hit out down, but sharked at ground level by Chloe Lowe. She gets a kick forward, but chopped off across half-back, and Nightcliff bring it away again. Marked out here on the wing by Mia Gross for Nightcliff, and she's just directing traffic in front of her, and now kicks along down the line. Oh, beautiful mark taken in the hands down there by Ionia Kalakis, and she kicks back here looking for her teammate Milkins, but she's works hard at ground level, gets a hand pass up to Magindi on the left foot, kicks forward into some space. Good defensive work once again, and Nightcliff bring it out of defence through Hughes, and at ground level it's almost trapped down there by Bush. It's kicked out of her fingers almost by Magindi, and now Bush gets another kick to it and gets the ball inside forward 50, working back hard defensively for Tars was Wiltshire. She hacked it off the ground. Kamala comes in for Nightcliff, and again kicking off the ground, and also her opponent Wiltshire, as she gets it out into some space, she's looking to kick it to the advantage of a teammate out there as Hannah Wilson runs after it. It's just all kicking off the ground at the moment, but they've worked it about 100 metres from this side of the ground to the other, and eventually attempts are made to reach in and pick it up, but Murphy picks up now and kicks long inside forward 50, the ball bouncing towards the 50-metre line, and strong defensive work, and Nightcliff bring it away again. Oh, good mark in the hands taken out there, and a chance for Nightcliff once again. Might have been Gross again, who kicks long round the outer side. Kamala gets her hands to the ball, and now at ground level is first there, kicks it ahead of herself, but working back strong defensively was Milkins for Tars once again, and a wrestle for the ball, and it's a stalemate and a ball up at the 50-metre line for Nightcliff.
Another taxing start to this quarter as well, Stu. They've had I think all three of them have started without really any breaks in play for the first 2 or 3 minutes. Obviously that's the first one I think we've had here. Yeah.
Kalakis gets on the end of it, gets a kick forward. Murphy just spilt the mark but had plenty of time to recover, picks up and now kicks out wide, but it's going close to the boundary line out there as there's a scramble for the ball at ground level.
Got numbers, Waratah.
They have. Murphy again followed up a kick forward and now gets a chip kick forward, but chopped off in defence by Thomas for Nightcliff, and that's a well-directed pass to Gross. Gross swings around, kicks deep towards half forward. Kamala couldn't take the mark, the ball spills to ground. Hannah Wilson throws it on the boot, just gets it outside of defensive 50. Good work through the hands, and Gross for Nightcliff kicks long inside forward 50 again. It's out in front of her teammate Kale, but she couldn't trap the ball, but it's still in a danger area now. Madison Kale comes in, picks up, kicks towards goal, and I think that's a good finish from the top of the goal square. And Madison Kale had a couple of involvements there, and eventually just picked it up and found herself a bit of space and put it through. Just see on the replay here, the ball just slipped behind her there, toe poke forward, and eventually Kale picks up, and a good finish. So Nightcliff on the board again in the third quarter.
Extend their lead out to 22 points. Potentially now, if not already, getting beyond Waratah's reach, yet to score obviously. Probably aiming for a scoreboard impact at this stage in the game, Stu, and they'd be probably happy with that.
Yeah, that's right. I know the coach Lily Tastil has worked hard all year just to get sides on the paddock, so she'd be really pleased with their efforts so far in the game. Let's just hope the run in the legs keeps up, but Nightcliff now coming out of the centre square from that stoppage. The ball slips over the back. Good work back there by Wiltshire once again, gets the kick out into some space, and now Milkins gets a kick around the wing. It's bouncing forward here, but chopped off by Pollen, who thumps the ball back towards half forward at ground level. Milkins again gets the hand pass out, but players tumble over as the ball spills to ground. Milkins working really hard at ground level, gets it back to Kalakis, but her kick's chopped off by Pollen, who wastes no time, swings around and kicks long towards half forward, just batted over the top down there by Gross. And Kamala comes in, she paddles it to herself, now gets control of the ball, looks for the long sweeping hand pass here.
Oh, good run.
To Bush, who swings around, as Will said, good run, made space for herself, but then unfortunately her kick was offline and through for a behind.
Yeah, great run there from Bush, just saw an opportunity and seized it. Unfortunately the kick wasn't quite on target and it's just faded across the face, but it's things like that which make them look dangerous and would probably give them hope going into next week's final against the higher placed team. Now coming back in, and Waratah out of defence, I think they're through Finch. And Kobe Lee's taken a good mark there, and they can hopefully build something from here. She plays on, throws it on the boot, kicks into space, but that'll be intercepted, and she's away. It's Emma Clifton again. Goes down the line, and good intercept from Finch. She'll play on now and take a bounce. Doesn't have a lot of targets up in the middle, but she'll go now down towards, I'm not sure if that's Belitho, but she's under pressure instantly from the Tigers girls in the middle there. Still working Belitho. Now gets it out there to Majindi. Majindi works it forward, and Nightcliff have the numbers back though. Again, this is through Clifton. She works it forward now as well, but Chloe Lay picks it up, kicks into a player in the mark. Now Burgoyne has changed jumpers into a red and white one at a half-time break. She'll have another crack, works it forward again. Waratah hoping to make something out of it, but Rabbit, she then kicks it well back inside, and an advantage for the Tigers. Oh, they've got some runners here out the back. Jackson bumped out of it by Lee. Very good defensive work there from Lee. And Tars again still just fighting and fighting and fighting here, but Rabbit, she'll have another crack at it. Now goes inside 50 again. Good mark back there. Wasn't taken actually on the half volley. Got it out to Lee. Lee pinged for holding the ball, unfortunately, and it'll be Bush from outside 50. Just kicks it down the line again, looking for space. Bounces beyond a few. Now it's with Kamala, sorry. Snapped it round and through for a great goal.
Yeah, terrific finish down there, and just unlucky the Waratah players at half-back there. They had the numbers and just got the hand pass out and got caught with the ball, but this is a terrific finish from Kamala, just swinging around on that right boot and put it through. So game just breaking open a bit here, and Nightcliff really putting the pressure on the Waratah defence and getting some reward on the scoreboard now. So yeah, we've been fortunate with the weather, Will. It absolutely smashed down during the day today, but gee, the ground's recovered well, hasn't it? And the conditions are pretty much perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. In a game like this, you probably would want it to be as good conditions as you can get. Here's Majindi now running back and again trying to work it forward for the Tars, but Nightcliff just a bit stronger and a bit better with their skills. Now to full forward again already. They've got numbers, so good kick through there from Wiltshire just to get it out of danger zone, but turned over, shot on goal, through for a behind.
Yeah, just snuck in inside the behind post there, and Tars will be happy to have a breather while we wait for this ball to come back in. And it's Finch again running away to the outer side of the ground. She's got plenty of space out there, bounces a few times, and now kicks wide out towards the boundary line. Rabbit's going to be first there for Nightcliff, takes it cleanly and then thumps it back inside forward 50. Majindi chops across, can't control it. The hand pass comes out, just try to paddle it out with Kale once again. Eventually it comes out to Kamala, just overran the ball, gave her Waratah opponent the opportunity to come in, but now Kamala again gets another chance, picks up, slams it towards goal, and again she likes those round the corner kicks on the right foot, and she's thumped that one through again. So yeah, the game really starting to split open now as The Waratah defenders look to be tiring a bit under all the work rate they've had, but just see here as Kamala missed on the first occasion, but helped out by Clifton, her teammate, and again another terrific snap from about 25 out.
Her second goal of the quarter, and Nightcliff's third. Before this quarter they'd managed just 2, one the first, one the second, and really, as you said, piling them on now, 36 to zip, a pretty handy margin. And they'll have a break next week with the other girls' elimination final, I believe, being held then. Sorry, the qualifying final.
Yep.
And that'll be Palmerston versus Southern Districts next week. Back in the middle.
Yeah, Bush again from the restart, thumps it on the second attempt forward, but well read off the back of the pack there, but a strong tackle and the ball comes out. So Ava Milton's really working hard, but just got caught with it then, and I think, was this a 50-metre penalty?
Yeah, it looks like Majindi's sort of had the ball in her possession, just kind of dropped it on the ground, and she's been pinged for not handing the ball back, so it'll be a shot on goal, almost point-blank range there. And just trying to get the number behind her ponytail. It's Nellie Thomas. Will kick very short and sharp. Intercepted, and Tar's getting out of there, but that's a dangerous kick. And Nightcliff will receive the free kick accordingly.
Oh, I thought Nellie Thomas had her hands over the ball, but she sprinted off so that Nisha Kamala could take the kick. So see how she goes on the set shot. Just squeezed it off to the right and missed for a behind. So, yep, just a behind there for Nightcliff. As we wait for the ball to come back into play, and it's Finch once again, as we've seen many times, running away and bouncing the ball to the outer side of the ground. Little toe poke forward gives Milpens the chance, and she kicks inboard looking for Peacock, who just trapped it with her foot, but went to the advantage of her Nightcliff opponent, and ball got wrapped up in the tackle, and it'll be a ball up just at the front edge of the centre square towards Nightcliff's attacking goal. So Rucks get in position, Bush hooks that one over the top, and then the hand pass comes back to her, spills out of her hands, and again it's going to be a stay mark here. No, in fact it's a high tackle, and so it'll be a free kick to Ava Milkins in defence there for Tars, who's really worked hard all day and got plenty of the ball in defence for Waratah. Ball at ground level. Eventually Burgoyne in there couldn't get a kick to it, and now Nightcliff take it forward, and getting on the end of it is Jessica Pick, as she's looking to go short here, but well read by Kobe Lee in defence. Almost took the mark, but then collides with her teammate, and the ball spills out. Lee still working at ground level. So her arms are wrapped there, so she had trouble getting anything on the ball. Eventually it came out. Plow's got the call, which was reasonable under those circumstances, as it's eventually comes out of the pack, and now Tar's just trying to work it through the hands, but again a strong tackle, the ball spills out. Now it's tapped out to the advantage of Gross, but she's closed down and just tapping it into space as Kamala tries to work some magic there. Just tapped it forward and back, and then picked up, hand passes inboard to Pick. Pick kicks long towards goal, but it bounces into the goal square, and taken there by Wilson for Tars. She clears away, but only as far as Kamala once again, and she's having some quarter, Will. Yeah,
already kicked the 2 goals and been pretty lively, just in creating some forward energy for them as well. It's a good kick. Probably won't make the distance. In fact, it won't, but it's set up her teammate there. Just trying to work out who that is. Very close to goal. Should be kicking after the 3/4 time siren. Just across the face for a behind. So it's 5 goals, 8 Nightcliff leading Waratah. Yet to score. We'll bring you the final quarter after this 3/4 time break. Welcome back to TIO Stadium. You're watching AFLNT's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season, and it's our final series here in Darwin. The under-18 girls elimination final between Nightcliff and Waratah has one quarter left, and Stu Davis, you dare say it's Nightcliff who will be progressing to the next round, the semi-finals from here. Yeah,
as expected going into the game. I think the top three teams are pretty competitive in this competition, but Tars have struggled all year. But hopefully, I know that there's other clubs in the competition that are hopeful of getting back into the under-18 girls competition with some strength in their under-16s coming through. So just a bit of a hiatus year as far as the under-18s go, and it'll be back bigger and stronger next year. But still some good football to be played for sure, as Nightcliff look to have changed things around a bit with their players in the middle of the ground as they try to go forward now. The quick kick comes forward, but well intercepted by Hannah Wilson, who's done that numerous times tonight, and she kicks grandstand side just through the hands of Kobe Lee out there as the Nightcliff opponents pounce on the ball, and nice work to get it back through the hands to Gross. Gross's kick is partially smothered there as coming in and trying to hand pass forward as Emma Clifton. The ball was forced forward, and now Burgoyne gets the hand pass out, and Tars get it down forward of centre, but again strong defensive work, and a toe poke out looking here for Gross, but closing quickly on her was Chloe Lay, and she got it back to Burgoyne, who got the kick forward into space. Running back here is Gaffer for Nightcliff. She thumps it forward, but well read, and intercept mark taken by Agnes Magindi. Just forward of the centre for Tars. She looks to play on now, has a bounce and another bounce. She's going to run herself into trouble here. Bowls over her opponent, then gets the hand pass out to Kalakis. Kalakis kicks quickly forward, but again it's Gaffer who clears it away for Nightcliff, but it's all Waratah in the centre of the ground as Magindi picks it up eventually, hooks the kick back, and bounces to inside the centre square. The hand pass comes out here, and now a quick kick from Clifton is chopped off, and Kalakis thumps it back inside forward 50 as cutting across the back line there is Ashley Hughes, and just runs the ball away herself out close to the boundary line. She picks up just inside the boundary line, kicks high in the air, and it stays in play out there as closing in on it down there was Bolitho.
It's almost a netball pass there, and I think the umpire's called it as an incorrect disposal. He has, so it'll be Kalakis taking the free kick a long way from home, but it's definitely an opportunity here for Waratah. Perhaps unfortunately making an unfortunately timed interchange with two players changing just in front of us, but the kick turned over nonetheless. So Nightcliff on the rebound.
Ooh.
Has kicked it into her own teammate to the back of her head. We'll have another go at that, Stu. Although Tars doing what they can to keep the ball forward. I think that's Burgoyne getting involved for Waratah in the second half. Takes the ball to ground now. Kalakis at the back of the pack again. And there's a free kick pulled out of there. So to go their way, they have an opportunity here for sure. Kobe Lee's forward, maybe a bit beyond Kalakis' kick. Instead, she just goes a shorter one over the top. Can't hit her target there in Peacock. Lee comes in to offer support. Good body strength there from Lee. Gets a handball out to Lay. Lay gets a handball out as well. Goes over the boundary line though. Oh no, kept alive. Just Nightcliff work it forward. Lay perhaps would have done better to try and get it over the boundary line and keep it in possession. Handball will go out. Jamal, lost her name there, sorry. It's Agnes Magindi. Got a kick forward. Nightcliff now work it back into the middle of the ground. Magindi will have another crack at it, will she? Or Kalakis, it bounces in her favour. Just being worked under it. Umpire calls a free kick though. And Tars again with an opportunity.
Yeah, just got pushed off the ball there. So Kalakis, who gets around it, gets plenty of the ball. This one's a good-looking pass towards half forward. It's well controlled in the end by Kobe Lee as her kick goes forward. Now here's a chance for Burgoyne. Swings around on the left. It just skews off the side of her boot a bit, but she's got some teammates out here as the hand pass comes out to Chloe Lay. Tries to break the tackle, can't do so. hand passes backing board, but she's in there again, Chloe Lay, and this time she breaks free, kicks towards goal. The kick looks pretty good, and I think they're on the board.
They are,
and aren't they excited on the bench, as you see in your picture there. But some just reward there for Waratah. They've kept battling all night, and Chloe Lay, after a couple of efforts, and a terrific finish in the end as she got her second opportunity here, just breaking away from the Nightcliff defenders.
Yeah, she's a talented player, and I'm sure will serve TARS for many years to come. I think she's played about 6 games in the Women's Premier League this year, or about 6 including the Wednesday night Div 1 competition. I was having a look at some of the stats at half-time, and I called a game she played against Tiwi in the Premier League, I think it was about round 15 or 16, and didn't look out of place at all. So obviously playing here tonight, but hopefully for her it's not the end of the season. Perhaps she can string some games together if TARS go deep in finals in the women's competition.
Yep. So from the restart, thump forward, and now Kalakis for Waratah just picks up but runs into some traffic there. She's back in there again, laying the tackle this time. I think the initial contact was high, and it'll be a Nightcliff free kick to Matilda Wilson here. And Wilson just backward of centre, kicks high, straight down the middle of the ground, but Hannah Wilson comes in, spilt the mark, but recovered well, got the hand pass to Majindi. Majindi again straight down the middle of the ground, and good defensive work by Ashley Hughes to force the ball forward, and now the hand pass swings out, and it's a wrestle for the ball at ground level. It doesn't look like it's coming out anytime soon, and umpire Jack Evans comes in and will ball it up. So still right in the centre of the ground basically, as the ruck work done by Nellie Thomas down there. Ball spills forward, and Wilson just struggled to pick it up. The kick comes forward, but nicely intercepted by Gaffer across half back for Nightcliff, and she's looking to come the grandstand side of the centre square as the ball spills out the back, and some good work there by Gross, who kicks long down towards half forward. Just spilt down here, but recovered well was Pollen, and thumps the ball down towards the 50-metre line, but well read back there by Sian Murphy for TARS. She kicks it back to where it came from. Kobe Lee controls it well over the back, hand passes to Kalakis, who goes backwards to Majindi. Majindi on the left boot. It's bouncing forward now, and running onto it was Burgoyne, threw it on her left boot out towards half forward. Chloe Lay, good use of the body, and then picks up, kicks inside forward 50. It's a bit of open space down there, but the Nightcliff players have worked back well in defence to get numbers, and the clearing kick comes out where Kalakis runs across, tries to run away, gets run down with the ball, and play-ons are called as it spilled out, and now Nightcliff the chance to go forward.
Got plenty of numbers forward to choose from. They kick it in the middle of 2 TARS defenders. Could still work out for the Tigers. Now I think it's Jackson. She gets it to Hartog and rolls it forward. Getting back to it first, though, will be Wiltshire. Now it's the captain, Finch, who just gets boot to ball into the pocket, gets it out of the danger zone if she can. Murphy will be first to it and will run onto it and pick it up again, just getting boot to ball, hoping to get it to Lee. Lee put some good strong body contact on. It was exactly what they needed. A bit of great smother there from the Tigers, and they go inside 50 again, spills out the back. Tigers are looking dangerous here. Wiltshire, she picks it up under pressure again, just kicks it into space, but there's only a Tiger there lurking. Picks it up as Pollen, and now she kicks a high one as well, looking for a teammate deep. Spills it through their hands. Tight defence again in the back line there for the TARS, and Pick just trying to wrestle it through, but the umpire will ball it up there in the pocket.
Yeah, just tried to reef it out, didn't she? But Hannah Wilson had a strong grip on it, and you can see she's blowing out there. She's done a heap of work in defence for TARS tonight, Hannah Wilson, and now she's being called on to do the ruck work as well. So only about 20 metres out from the Nightcliff goal at the Michael Long Centre end of the ground. Wilson wins a hit out to the advantage of Milkins here. She picked up, but got tackled to the ground, and coming in was Emma Clifton with a quick kick forward for Nightcliff. Here's a chance again for Hartog as she kicks towards goal, but getting her hands to the ball in defence was Phoebe Wiltshire, and forcing it over the line for a behind. So just the one goal in the quarter so far, and it's to Waratah. So it looked in the third quarter, like Nightcliff were going to bust the game open and kick away, but Tars have kept fighting in this last quarter.
Yeah, good credit, particularly in the junior competition where, sometimes the kids can sort of roll over and think, oh, there's, not as much of a point playing anymore. But yeah, they've done really well, and I think Lily Tatzel will be really impressed with how her girls have gone tonight, and even the Nightcliff team and their players who've gone over to Waratah. It's always good to see your players putting in a solid effort, even when they are playing in the opposition jumper.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, obviously they'd be trying to impress the coach to get into the side next week, and so yeah, obviously competition for positions at Nightcliff that unfortunately Tars don't have. But Hartog here kicks towards the top of the goal square. It's a 3-on-1 here with Waratah, but now the Nightcliff players close in as that's almost a throw, I would have thought, and that's the way it's been seen. So a chance here for Nightcliff to get their first goal of the quarter, and looks like it's Taya Hartog who's going to come back and take this free kick.
Just in the last minute or so, Stuart, looks like there's a light sprinkle of rain coming down, so that'll be a bit of weather adding into the game in the last few minutes.
Yeah, so Hartog kicks from about 15 metres out. She likes it, goes to celebrate with her teammates, and she gets on the board, and Nightcliff on the board for their first goal of this quarter. And yeah, just steadying the ship a bit there, but they've got this game well and truly won, and we'll be looking forward to 2 weeks' time when they play next in the preliminary final against next week's loser.
And looking forward to that one, Stu. You mentioned that Nightcliff and the top two sides, which I think is Palmerston and Southern Districts, have all been pretty competitive together, but is there a clear standout there?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think, as I said, it's pretty even, and it'll just be on the night. So, the rest of the final series in this competition will be really competitive and really interesting. So from the ball up, it's Kobe Lee who got her hands to the ball, but backing out of the pack down there for Nightcliff was Matilda Wilson, and got a kick forward. That was clever work, but chopped off across half back by Waratah. Her hand pass just slipped out into some space, and now Nightcliff again at ground level, just trying to force it forward, and eventually it's picked up and hacked inside forward 50. We've got 2-on-2 down here. Another chance for Nightcliff. Strong tackle as the ball bounces around. Hannah Wilson in there trying to pat it forward. I think there was a boot in there on her near her hands, and she'll take the free kick once again across half back. So almost 12.5 minutes gone in this final quarter. We're getting close to the final siren, but this one's chopped off by Julia Pollen. Pollen kicks the ball long back inside forward 50. It slips over the back of the pack, and now the kick squirts out towards the boundary line and just bounces over. So it'll be a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Nightcliff, looking for perhaps one last opportunity to get another goal on the board with this stoppage.
Yeah, about a minute or just over a minute left in this one. And in Nightcliff's danger zone. It's just taken and kicked well away out of there from Majindi. They'll load up again through I think it's Tesoro. Tesoro. And there's two players out there. One of them's Jackson. I think that one there was Clifton, who just kicked it forward. Couldn't be taken there by Hartog, so she paddles it through to her teammates. Now picked up by Thomas. She rolls around and just kicks it through the big sticks, does she? Yep, that's another goal on the board for the Tigers. They move to 50 points. 7 goals, 850, leading Waratah 1 goal, 6, and it's a 44-point margin.
Yeah, good finish by Nellie Thomas there. Just some good sense of where the goals were, but yeah, Hartog here just paddled it out into the path of Thomas and just got around her opponent and then kicked long towards goal and over the top of the defender standing on the goal line. So a pretty good finish in the end. Nightcliff with the last couple of goals of the game and run out comfortable winners as we suspected, but Yeah, it was a hard-fought contest all night, and I think the TARS players can be pretty happy with what they've shown tonight in what's turned out to be their last game of the season, Will.
Yeah, it's never easy having the last game of the season, as sometimes, even though it can be quite apparent that it's coming. But yeah, the TARS did very well tonight. Yeah, particularly their defensive efforts, and it's not easy when you're being peppered, but they just kept going. And as we mentioned, well, one of them's on screen there, Chloe Lay, but she wouldn't be alone. But there'd be a few who are hoping they can impress and potentially play some Women's Premier League games. Obviously, the TARS and the Women's Comp have finished third, so have at least 2 more games. But for the Tigers, as you mentioned, they've got they're one of 3 teams still alive in it, and would be hoping that they can lift the cup in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, that's right. And as I said, it'll be a terrific competition from here on in, and really open. So yeah, it's been the weather's held off for the most part. Hopefully it holds off for the under-18 boys game, which is about to come up, which should be a cracker of a game. That also an elimination final, and Will and I will be calling that one for you as well. So we'll be back with that after this. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage of this game tonight.